Hey AP Langsters, what's going on? So this is our first video of the year just to sort of recap some of the things that we've gone over. So we started out, obviously unpacked a ton of terminology for the year. Big reminder, remember that for 8 eggs, you will have your quiz next Friday, so that is September the 7th. And then B-Day, your quiz would be on Monday, September the 10th. So make sure you fill in all those definitions. You can go straight to the internet. If you have any problems, hit me up. So some of the things we talked about so far this year, the first was the bounds, right? So we're kind of looking at the fact that when we do analysis, in the past what we've done is we take a look at the author's position or their claim, and then we ask you to recognize the evidence. Like what's the examples, where's the data, what's the statistics that back up the evidence, right, or back up the claim. What we're asking you to do now is to take that evidence, take that claim, and then formulate your own position. Now today in class you may have heard me talk about being an avid reader, getting out and reading nonfiction. That third piece, really getting off the diving board, so to speak, and getting in deep, is where you take that claim from the author, take their evidence, formulate your own position, and then start making connections to your background information, whether it's other articles, news pieces, just that whole synthesis. It could be songs, it could be works of fiction, it could be artworks, right? So that's where we're headed. This first essay, the argument piece, you'll address the argument or the information provided by the essay or the author. You're going to take their evidence, so you're going to take their claim, take their evidence, formulate your own position, and then hit it with the findings from the essay and then also your own background knowledge. So that's kind of where we're headed with that. And there's 3 levels of thinking, right? So if you take mapping the argument like we did today in class, there's 3 pieces of that. Level 1 is simple. Can you acknowledge or recognize what the author's claim is? What is their position? Level 1, I see it. It's right there. Boom. This is what they're saying. Level 2 is where you can then pull quotes, right? You can pull their examples and say, look, this is how the author supports their claim. And eventually we'll get to breaking down how they do that. Is it with a metaphor? Is it straight statistics? Is it quotation? Is it some rhetorical device? How effectively are they doing that using this method? So that's what we're talking about. Level 3 is what do you do with that knowledge? I know what the claim is. I know how they're backing up their claim. This is what they use, A, B, C, D, right? And now you're coming up with your own original position. You're not simply parroting it. You are coming up with your own original position. You're using their information, and then you're combining your background information, and boom, you have your own argument that connects to the original piece, but also incorporates your own information, your own background information. So either you're validating or you're refuting, and you're using not just this singular piece, but also what you bring in. That's where I said reading nonfiction. You should start getting on some of the major news sites. Flip on the nightly news. Get on some of the Sunday morning talk shows. Watch that, because those are the kind of things that are going to help you. So that's kind of where we're at. You guys did mapping the argument. We kind of went over the basis of it. We're working with the ethicist essay, which it combines some statistical information, some quotes from the American Humane Society. There's also some rhetorical devices such as satire and irony that's used in it. And then we're kind of like going to go from that into you providing your own level 1, 2, and level 3 mapping of that argument. So that's kind of where we're at. Big thing, 8A, your quiz is next Friday the 7th. B-Day, your vocabulary quiz is the following Monday. So that's where we're at. The other big thing is make sure you go ahead and get your copy of the book, The Stranger in the Woods. And we're going to start heading into that hopefully by the end of this week, but if not, at the start of next week. And what we're going to start doing is balancing some of the essay writing, since the argument is our first essay, with some of our nonfiction writing. Because the more that we read nonfiction, to go back to that level 3, this just will provide context. And it's just more fuel to the fire when it comes time for you to write your own argumentative essay for the AP exam. All right, guys, have a great night. Talk to you soon.